All right, so last week, again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Want you guys get on there and watch these videos. Even if you're in the meeting, obviously in person, which I thank you for being here. Go back. You're able to go back and review these. We're using video a lot more, and I'm gonna do this for as many meetings as I can. The video is there's no better teacher than video, in my opinion. So we're gonna do that again today. Use a lot of video in what we're talking about, and so get on the channel, subscribe to it, review the videos. You can always email me and ask me questions as well on that kind of stuff. So want your involvement in that way. Last week we spent the majority of the meeting talking about active shooting, continuous motion, legal guarding position. Okay, and so we're going to kind of piggyback on that and start with. Today we're talking about. We have several different topics. We're starting with player control. Okay, so we got to define what player control is. Then we're going to go to team control and define what that is. We're going to have videos on both of those scenarios. Then we're going to go into a little more of a, if you want to call it more of a boring section, live ball, dead ball. We got to know when the ball's live, when the ball's dead. Just because the ball is just because the clock is running doesn't necessarily mean that the ball is alive, and just because the clock is stopped doesn't mean it's dead. So we have to, we're going to go through that in the middle section of today, and then we're going to finish with back court, front court, again, defining what those are and look at some plays in relation to those, okay? So it's going to be good. It's going to be filled with video. And for the sake of the video, if you have a question, one thing I would like you to do is if you have a question, try to speak up a little bit louder. It's not getting caught on video, which is fine. I try to repeat it if I can, but I'm not always doing that. But when you ask a question, raise your voice just a touch so that hopefully it can be heard on the video. And kind of just, don't just spout out get my attention before you just, say something or ask a question, okay? I will get you as soon as I can on those. All right? We do have rule books here, and for the sake of the video and the people that are watching it that are not here, the only way you're going to get a rule book is if you come to one of these meetings in person. If not, you're not getting a rule book. So let me challenge you to come to the meetings. All right, good. So that's over with. I can, that's for all the people that are too lazy to come to the meetings. Just saying. All right. Well, there's many people that have genuine excuses, and so that's fine too. But all right. So anyway, let's get right into it here. We're going to start again with player controls, kind of piggyback on what we watched some probably similar plays last week in regards to player control fouls. So we're going to watch more of those type of plays today. But the first thing I want to do is for you to go to your rule book, which everyone got the rule book, right? You should all have a rule book in here. Either you had one already or you got one here as you came in the door, okay? So what I want you to do is to go to, again, we're in Rule 4, definitions. Go to Section 12 in Rule 4, okay? And that is going to be our definition for control, both player and team control, okay? So let's start with just reading that. And then we'll get into some video and stuff like that. We'll start with player control. We'll look at videos. Then we'll read team control and look at those videos. All right. So Article 1 is a player is in control of the ball when the player is holding or dribbling a live ball. Okay. So there's a term, live ball, which we're going to get into here in the middle portion of our meeting. When is the ball live? We're going to get into that here in a few minutes, all right? But that's important to note. So that player is in control of the ball when the player is holding or dribbling a live ball. That's when a player has control. There is no player control when, and several things here, during a jump ball. There's no player control during a jump ball. Or when a jumper catches the ball prior to the ball touching the floor, or a non-jumper, or during an interrupted dribble. So there's several things there. So one is there's no player control on a jump ball, there's no team control either. We'll get into that in a little bit. Okay. When a jumper catches the ball prior to the ball touching the floor during a jump ball, okay, all right, that's also no player control because that's a violation. Or during an interrupted dribble. So that's not a jump ball scenario. An interrupted dribble would be if a player who is in control of the ball is dribbling the ball during a live ball, okay, and the ball bounces off their foot and rolls away. This is saying what? There is no player control, okay? However, there is team control, okay? So I'm going to read this section, or this next section, team control, just because it kind of helps us continue with our thought here. All right, so Article 2, a team is in control of the ball when a player of the team is in control. So if a player is in control, player control, the team is also in control. While a live ball is being passed among teammates, so there's no player control when the ball is being passed, but there is team control. Letter C, during an interrupted dribble. Again, so there is team control during an interrupted dribble. That would be a player that's the ball's dribbled off their foot or something like that, or even batted away, okay, by a defensive player. And letter D, when a player of the team has disposal of the ball for a throw-in, there is team control. There is no player control on a throw-in, but there is team control when the ball is at the disposal of the thrower in. All right. Article 3, next page. Team control continues until, so this is when the team control ends. The ball is in flight during a try or tap for field goal. Team control is no longer in play. Neither is player control, right? With an exception. Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. Letter B on team control continues until an opponent secures control. So Team A's control ends when Team B secures control. And letter C when the ball becomes dead. Again, dead ball, live ball, we'll get into those definitions in a little bit. All right. We'll finish the articles here and then we'll go into our videos. Article 4, while the ball remains live, a loose ball, again, this could be an interrupted dribble or a tip by a defensive player, always remains in control of the team whose player last had control, unless it is a try or tap for goal. All right, so I gave you a couple scenarios there as to when there would still be team control on a loose ball. Article 5, team control does not exist during a jump ball. We already talked about that. No team control or player control during a jump ball. Or the touching of a rebound. So again, shot goes up, so no team control on a shot, right? Okay. When the ball comes off the rim and rebounding action, the touching of a rebound does not constitute team control. There is no team control at that point. A player must reestablish control by securing the ball. And that's the finish of Article 5 there. And then Article 6, neither team control nor player control exists during a dead ball, a jump ball, or when the ball is in flight during a try or tap for field goal. All right, so a lot there. This is why we're having this discussion, because player, team control, live ball, dead ball, all kind of play they factor all together, okay? So we have to kind of discuss them all in the same context. All right, but let's look at some player control fouls first. Again, this is piggybacking off of what we reviewed last week with legal guarding position, okay? So we know that definition. We know how we can obtain legal guarding position and how a player can maintain a legal guarding position. So based on that information, we're going to look at some player control fouls here, okay? Let me get to the actual video here. Let's make it big, and let's get to a play here. Okay, so the first one's going to be on ball handler contact. Let's get to it here. Okay, all right, here we go. All right, so highlighted offensive player there. Did everybody see that? Now I can rewind it for Al, especially since his eyes are a little older. He needs to see it a couple more times.
Could you make it bigger?
I can't make it any bigger. I'm sorry. All right. Did everybody see that? Did everyone see the the extension of the arm by the offensive player, number 4 in white. Does everybody see that? Okay. Pretty clear. I mean, does anybody have any question about that? Any concerns? No issues there. Pretty clear, right? Offensive foul, player control foul, because he's in control of the ball. Here it is again in slow motion. A little closer there for you, Al. You see the extension of the arm by number 4, which creates space, and that's important, okay? So like, and I don't want to get too deep in the weeds here, but I've seen plays such as that where the defensive player, and I'm not saying the defensive player embellishes at all here, he may, we don't know for sure, but where the defensive player can remain upright and much closer to the offensive player than what we see here, okay? So based on the extension of the arm. So we kind of had this discussion last week. There may be a situation where, not this one, but there may be a situation if that defender can stay in good guarding position where we have a no call instead of a player control foul. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay? All right. But this one clearly, he creates space, creates an advantage to get off a shot. The defender's nowhere close to him. He's stumbling back. So it's a clear extension of the arm, clear player control foul. Okay? Everybody good on that? Great. And the center official comes out and calls it good authority, all that kind of stuff. All right? He's got a good look at it. Excellent. All right, now we're going side-to-side contact. Next play. Watch the two players here. This is coming up the court, obviously. Did you see that one? It's going to show it again, so let's just let it play. Watch the dribbler and watch his right hand off arm. They're legal right now. They're side by side. The dribbler gets in front of the defensive player, which, let me pause it there. In your rule book, it says typically when the offensive player gets torso in front of the defensive player, the greater responsibility of contact usually goes to the defender. Okay? So the defender is more liable to be held, accountable for a foul. Okay? That's kind of what the rules are saying. Does everybody follow that understanding and logic based on what the rules say? However, there are exceptions to that, and this is one of them where the offensive player creates space by clearing, using his off arm to push off the defender and create space for himself. Okay?
Did anybody call that foul?
I don't think anybody called that one. There was a no call on that play. Now, let me ask you just a quick question on mechanics. We'll spend more time on this in another meeting, but what would the mechanic be like? Whose responsibility is that play? Right here, it's going to happen right there at the division line, basically in the semicircle or close to it, or the half circle. Sorry. Whose primary is that play? Trail. Yep. Trail's primary. Now, the center official can also have a look at it, but it should be Trail's primary because there's no other, it's just those two players. Does that make sense? It's just those two players. There's no press, and there's really no one else for the center official to stay back and observe. So the center official should not have primary on that play. It's the Trail's play. Even though it's on the other side of the, if you draw an imaginary line from basket to basket, it's on the opposite side. It's still Trail's primary because for one reason, because it's in the backcourt. Okay, but that's the only matchup as well. So Trail has primary on that, and it looks like, Trail's watching the play, but they don't necessarily have a good angle on the play. Now, if you come to our mechanics meeting, or if you've come to one in the past, you know this to be the case already. What do I teach on where that Trail official should be standing or moving? Much more on the court. So if I would say, now look, this is difficult, especially, You can't necessarily do this all the time, but since there's no one else back here, okay, that trail official should be like right here, okay? So still on his side, but well off the sideline and, looking through those two players, okay? That's the goal there. Does someone have a question? James?
What constitutes...
Speak up for the video, sorry.
What constitutes full extension? Like, to me, that play was full extension, and the play before was borderline.
So that's why I said if that defense, in the first play, that's why I made the comment that I did. If the defensive player can remain upright and stay with the play, I would not call that a player control foul. I would no call it. But because the player, in my opinion, in my judgment, okay, and this is what I would tell a coach too, in my judgment, the extension, even though it might not have been all the way out, the extension was enough to give that offensive player an advantage, and it was illegal.
Advantage, disadvantage.
Advantage, disadvantage, and it was illegal because that offensive player is not allowed to do that, right? Okay, then you have to put a whistle on it. Does that answer your question?
Displacement.
It's displacement. That's a rule book terminology. So that's a good word to use. That defensive player was displaced on the play. Okay. Advantage, disadvantage is always good to use when you can. All right. So.
What if the defender is off balance? Like they're kind of trying to catch up to the offensive player, and then the offensive player arm bar kind of pushes them off.
Well, that's kind of what happens here. I mean, I wouldn't say that the defender is really off balance, but he does get, the offensive player gets ahead of him, right? Which I indicated. So in most cases, the defender is responsible for the contact. However, when you have the extension, regardless of whether the defensive player is off balance or trying to catch up to the play, in a situation like that where he extends and creates that separation, you can make that call with confidence in offensive foul because the video clearly shows that he did that. Does that make sense? Enough? Okay. All right. Any other questions on that?
Hey, Tim,
Yes.
if that primary's not where he should be and the center sees it,
Trail? Yes. The center can call it.
he can call it?
Yes.
Now, does he have to conversate with his trail just because that was
No.
his primary?
No. You do not have a conversation. You just
Okay.
you take the call and go with it.
Okay.
Yep. No.
I just know he had a better angle there.
Yeah. Well, yes. If he's looking back, which I don't necessarily think he was, and he shouldn't be because it's not his primary.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be looking back.
Okay.
He should be looking ahead and looking for matchups.
But if
Down
you
here.
have definite knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely. If you do see it, take it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's not like the center can't call that.
Yeah.
My point is if the center knows his area of responsibility and his court coverage, he really should not be looking at that play.
Yeah.
He should be looking ahead. Again, like I said, he should be looking ahead down the court because he knows that it's a one-on-one matchup and he's got to trust his trail to get that play.
Yeah.
Okay? So the trail just needs to be in better position, ultimately. Okay? All right. Good question, though. All right. Okay, now let me stop here. I hate this word. I'm just going to say this. I hate this word. I wish he wouldn't even put it up here. Okay? Is this, let me ask Shane, because Shane kind of the rule book expert, maybe more than me, I'm not sure, but is the word hooking, or I'll ask all of you, is the word hooking in the rule book? The actual word hook? It's not. Okay, it's not. So, thank you. See, you did know. So the point is like this is not a word I would use, but this is a word that's commonly used by officials to make calls on plays that I would generally disagree with, okay? And this, even the play that we're about to watch is marginal in my mind, but I have it on here so that we can have the discussion. All right, so watch the play. Obviously the ball handler. All right, right there. Did you see that contact with the left arm by the white number 1? Okay? And you saw the defensive player go to the floor. Right there. Kind of pops him in the face. Okay? Now he's saying this is a hooking call. This is not a hooking call. I mean, if you in the true sense of what a hook is, like, which I wouldn't call a hook, okay, but a hook is when an offensive player basically is already by their opponent. They've got torso by their opponent and takes their off arm. I'm dribbling with this arm, and I take my off arm and kind of wrap it around the defensive player. But I've already beaten that player. So I've seen referees way too much call that as an offensive hook. No, sir. No, ma'am. That is not an offensive foul, okay, and should not ever be referred to as a hook. Okay, that's the play on. Most of the times, that arm is just a natural movement as they're dribbling by. And the key there, okay, and this, not talking about this specific play, but just those plays in general, the key is that the offensive player already they've already beat their defender, okay? So there's no advantage gained by that, arm that's the natural movement as I'm going by a defender. That's my natural movement. There's no advantage gained to that, okay? And you can't say that you're holding that defender either, because that defender's already beat.
So what's your terminology?
It's no hook. It's either a player control foul or nothing, right?
You see that
Offensive
with big
player control
men
foul,
underneath
nothing.
the basket, stationary to gain position. Like, I wouldn't call that hooking either. But
Yeah, that's
big man underneath, you'll see him take their arm to
okay. So you're talking about without the ball, right?
with the ball, but they're underneath the basket and they're just trying to gain position. I see that more as a hook than that. I wouldn't
Right.
use the word hook, but
Yeah.
to gain an advantage.
If there's a true advantage gained, then yes. What I'm saying is be very careful with that because, as I said already, most of the time that's a natural movement. If you've already beat your defender, your arm is naturally going to go back behind your back as you continue. You go that way, the other arm is going to go that way. It's kind of a natural thing.
So would that be Shane? Would it be a player control?
This one here would be, because it's the primary defender, yes. Regardless, it would be a player control.
No, you don't say a hook, be a player control.
Not a hook. It would be player control because he pops him in the face, basically. At least that's what I see as I watch this play again. And here's the slow-mo. His arm goes up.
The arm's already there, yeah.
Yep. And his face comes down into the arm, and to me, it's enough. It creates an advantage for the offensive player.
Who was the mechanic?
He just points the other direction.
I think he does. Offense, yeah.
He points offense. He just points, though. Yeah, he doesn't put his hand behind his head. And that's semantics. I mean, according to our mechanics, we're supposed to put our hand behind our head. I don't really care if you do that or not, to be honest, okay? Just get the call right, and make your signal and communicate what happened, okay?
That's what you tell me all the time.
Hey,
It is too.
Tim, not to dig in too deep, but a severity of that could be a flagrant foul too.
Could be because there's contact above the neck. Yeah, I mean, yes. And if the thing is we don't have, in high school, we don't have the ability to review plays like that. And at upper levels, they have the ability to review it, and they may very well upgrade in a college game or a pro game. They might upgrade that because it's contact above the head. We don't have that. We have to judge it in real time. And I wouldn't personally go flagrant on that play. But yes, exactly. So, all right. So this is again leading with an elbow. Let's watch this one. Now you got two post players here. Okay, it hasn't happened yet. Okay, did you see that? Oh, yeah, hey, and did you see his reaction too? So that to me is super telling. Let's watch it again. Yeah, he knew he did it, and there was no call on the play. That's the crazy thing. Watch his reaction. So boom, leads with the elbow, right in the face. Now, you want to talk about, and then he's like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and there's no call. Isn't that crazy? Okay.
That's automatic guilty.
Automatic guilt, exactly. Well, and it was clear. And you talk about flagrant fouls. Now, that's closer to a flagrant situation. I don't necessarily think I would call it there either, but it's closer than the other one. Because it's a clear pop in the nose with the leading elbow, right? Okay? And he's like, I didn't mean to do that, okay? So, yeah, pretty obvious. But we have 3 officials on this game, and none of the three officials caught it. Oops, here we go. Let's see where they are. Let's see. Okay, so primary official on this play is who?
Should be slot.
Center official. Center official is primary. Center is over there. Okay, center official is over there. Center has primary because it's right, it's in the middle, so it's kind of dual coverage. You got your trail here looking at it too. Your trail has a great view of it, okay? But based on where it is or where it started, center has primary. Trail, in my mind, on this play would have secondary. Lead would have the least responsibility. Why? Because these 3 players are in his way. Because lead's over here, okay? Lead's over here. And you can't see lead. He's off the screen. All right? But he has too many players in the way. There's really no way he can see that contact. But trail probably has the best look in. And trail should have a whistle on that play if center doesn't. So. But we just play on. All right. And I think that's it for those. Let's go to our next video, which is 7 block charge plays. These are good too. All in the same game. Now some of these are, very tough to determine. All right, what you got there? Do you see it? I didn't go back quite far enough. What you got?
Give it a block.
You give it a block? Why?
I don't think he had position established defensively.
So based on our conversation last week, legal guarding position, it's 2 factors are in play, right? Torso facing and 2 feet on the floor. You tell me if he's torso facing and 2 feet on the floor.
He is right now.
Yeah,
He's right there, yeah.
Right there.
Okay.
Got offense.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And he can move to maintain, and offense creates the contact. That's a clear offensive foul in my opinion. Now you can see that the referee from lead has a block, wrong call. Okay. But again, we can have the conversation, and we might as well, now that we've opened Pandora's box, about mechanics. Whose primary is that play? Is it leads or centers? Should be centers. Center had a decent look, in my opinion. It's coming right down his side. Okay. He should have the first, and he doesn't have a whistle. All right. So there you go. So the first one's missed. Play 2. Now that one, what do you think about that one? Let's watch it again. Oh, yeah, okay, here we go. We're watching it again. Okay, LGP, yes, right? Torso facing, 2 feet on the floor. All right. Where's the contact?
A little floppy.
That's a flop. That's a flop. So by rule, we can put a flop on them. I'm not, that's not my favorite call to make. Okay, I don't really like that. I'm going to probably give the defensive player a foul instead. Okay, but we have an offensive foul called instead. That's miss number 2. Miss number 2. All right, next play. Now this one's tough. Because it's just like,
Bam, bam.
yeah. All right. So the foul is, you got the ball, the dribbler, and this is the defender right here. Okay. So the defender has LGP, 100%. Still has it. Any contact initiated is on the offense, right? But it doesn't look like a lot of contact. That's a really ugly play.
He's spinning away from the contact.
Really ugly. Okay. So, I mean, what do you think? In a game, what do you think? Do you think you need to put a whistle on this play or let it go?
Let it go.
Do you think, and I'm just asking the question, if you let this play go, do you think that it just creates more of a sloppy game and creates more opportunities for...
It depends on the control of the game, how the game's flowing.
Okay, so the first two plays, this is all the same game.
Oh, yeah.
First two plays we've already missed. We had one block, one offensive foul, they were both missed. At least they went, at least they were not the same. They were different, but they were both missed, okay? So now here, I probably would put a block on it, which I believe he does. Yep, okay? Even though he has legal guarding position, so this is where it gets a little tricky because he does have legal guarding position and he never, you're basically penalizing the defensive player. So a good argument could be made to have no call. Okay, I'm not saying that at all. Based on that, you could definitely make an argument that there should be no call because the contact by the offensive player is marginal. Okay, could be incidental. That's out of the book. Incidental contact is rule book terminology.
Back one more time. Can you do it in slow?
Yeah. This is.
Oh yeah.
He was
See,
calling
it's-
for whoever made contact.
He was.
You could also
Yeah.
call a flaw.
You could potentially call a flop. Yes. So yeah. Again, I would. You could never offensive foul. Never. Okay. Never offensive foul on that. It's either no call, a flop, or a block. Okay.
With the body being on the floor, you
Depending-
get a no call,
yeah.
you get a
Well, again, that's the conversation we had, and depending on where you're at in the game, that's why Al asked the question. That was a good question. It depends on kind of the atmosphere of the game, the temperature of the game, so to speak. Does that make sense? And the players and other plays and stuff like that. So this is second half. It's not really a close game either. So even though there's still plenty of game left. It's 27-15, second half, 5 minutes to go. I don't know who the home team is. Let's see, Paulding is the home team, so they're white. Yeah, okay. So they're winning, and so yeah, I would put a block on that. I would put a block on it because of that. Okay, they're winning the game by 12 points. They're at home. I'd give them a block. That's philosophy.
Was there a makeup call from the?
I don't know. Was there? This was your game, wasn't it, Al? No, I'm just kidding. All right, play 4. Yeah. Well, that one was, again, defensive player has legal guarding position, maintains it, extension of the elbow. That's a clear offensive foul. And the referee got it. Oops, I'm sorry. I got to. Hold on. Let's look at it again. Did he go block?
You went block.
Okay.
That's all-
Barely can see his arm right there.
Oh, that's 3 misses.
Point in line.
Al, that's one of mine, yours game.
Yeah. That's the third one you missed.
Woo. Okay. So they're 1 for 4 right now. They're not having a good game. These guys. They must be in Tennessee or something like that. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. But anyway, okay. So yeah, clear offensive foul, extends the elbow. Defensive player has position. Here's another one. Oops. What do you think about that one? Might have been. I think it was a good call. All right, let's see if the defensive player has. Whoop! Yes, he does. LGP established. All right, offensive player runs to and through. Okay, knocks him to the floor. Offensive foul. Hey, they're 2 for 5 now. Their percentage just went up. Play 6. This is another one that's tough.
you got it right.
Okay, so first and foremost, right here, look where your center official is. He's at half court, basically. Way out of position. He should be down here. Okay? All right? And to be honest, he should be like right here, looking straight through the play. It is center's primary play. Center does not have a whistle on this, thankfully, because he's out of position. Okay? but center should be in position and have a whistle on this play. All right, so now we've determined that. Next thing we determine, does the defender have LGP? It looks like it based on this. It looks like you can't. It looks like both of his feet are on the floor and his torso is facing his opponent. 23, right? See 23? Not the primary defender, the guy with his back facing the division line, but the secondary defender with his left arm up. Okay? 23. He's got LGP.
It's already there.
Bam.
And we're 2 and through, right?
Yes.
Okay? 3 out of 6. They're up to 50%. That's still bad percentage, but it's better than where they started. Okay, yeah, I think it'll show it one more time. Maybe. Nope, I gotta go back. All right, let's see. All right, here we go. Good? Yeah. Okay. All right, last play.
They come back too.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
It was 3 down the
Ooh, another good one. Another close one. All right, what you got? Anybody want to make a ruling before
Yes.
LGP?
Yep.
Is this the same game?
Oh, we got a commercial. Yeah, all the same game, Al.
Damn.
Odds were bad.
Oh, I went back to the beginning here. Let's okay. Number 10 has LGP. 2 feet on the floor facing the opponent. Number 31 creates the contact, runs to and through for the most part. And we have an ad, but we all saw the play, so we should be good there, right? Everybody good? Okay. And did you see what the ref called to see if their percentages got better or worse?
Yeah, right.
He called offense? Okay. All right. So they were 4 out of 7. Now that's a bad percentage. We should not be, your percentages should be such that you're in the 90% as far as your own personal play calling. And just those 7 plays, they're in the 60%, something like that. Not real good. And those are the plays that, you get paid the big bucks for. So, all right. Next one here, last video on block charge plays, player control. Oh, this is still the beginning here.
Boom.
No, yep. Okay, first play.
Moves obliquely.
Oh, we looked at this one last week. We looked at this last week. This is a play we looked at last week on this video. Because remember, and we talked about block charge, your partners having different calls. The trail official on this play calls a block, and it was clearly not a block. Thankfully, the lead did not signal anything, so they went with the wrong call. Okay.
Yeah, because not only did he hit him, he extended his arm too.
Yeah. I think we reviewed this whole video last week, so we don't need to go through this one again, I don't think. Let me just see if that's correct. Let me see if there's any other plays here, because that one I know we reviewed. Did we review this one? I can't remember. You remember this one? Oh yeah. Okay. All right. So we're gonna get out of this one. We're done with the player control. Okay. All right. Next one, we're gonna go into team control now. All right. So, hang on. All right. So let's review team control again, just in the rule book, real quick. Okay. Back to section 12, rule 4, section 12, article 2. Team is control the ball when a player of the team is in control while a live ball is being passed among teammates during an interrupted dribble when a player of the team has the disposal for a throw-in of the ball for a throw-in. Team control continues until the ball is in flight for a try or tap. An opponent secures control or the ball becomes dead. All right. So now this is a good video. I may put this on our YouTube channel because this is like 5 minutes of basically this guy explaining what team control is. But the great thing about this is, and it might be simple, like this might be super simple to some, but it's a good example of how to train your brain. Okay, so this is the start of a game. Okay, we have already read in the rule book that there is no team control on a jump ball, correct? So right now the ball is just left the official's hand to start the game. There is no team control, and we don't have the voiceover, the commentary, but you can see you've got the closed captioning or whatever here. All right, so it's going to say over here on the right, you see team control or none. Okay, you'll see that on the right. Right now there's none. There's no team control. All right, so this is kind of a good exercise, and now we have team control, right? Okay, that's going to change over there, that box here. Here's on the opening tip, there is no team control. The player catches the ball, it's tapped and goes into the backcourt. The player controls and now has team control. I don't know why that box has not changed to team or control, but
It changes to the color.
oh, it's down at the bottom. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I got you. Okay. All right. So team control, it says there. Yeah. Very good. Okay. All right. Again, so there's team control now. There's team control. He's dribbling the ball. There's also player control. Okay. Let's keep moving here. A little faster. Pass, still team control. You still have team control, the basics, okay, on a pass. No team control now because there's a shot. Okay? All right, now we're going to go a little, keep going here. Neither team has control. Now the white team has control. All right, we're moving up the court, and we'll finish this up in just a minute, but I want to show you some rebounding action first. Again, no team control on a shot. Now there's no team control. Do you notice none? There's no team control after a made basket. Okay. When does team control exist again? When the ball is at the disposal of the thrower in, which is as soon as he basically, well, in this situation, as soon as he picks up the ball. Okay. There could be a time when the player doesn't have the ball in their hand when it's at their disposal, but it's going to be when he picks up the ball. Disposal. Ball goes through the hoop. Come on. There. Okay. Now he's not out of bounds yet, but the ball is at his disposal. There is team control right now. So if a foul were to occur, here's the point of this. If black team were to commit a foul, let's say this guy running away was coming down to set a screen or something for his teammate and sets an illegal screen. That's a team control foul. Okay. Even though we haven't even finished our throw-in yet. It's a team control foul. We'll get into what that means here in just a minute, okay? But that's kind of the idea. You get the idea of when there's team control and when there's not, okay? So now we're moving forward. Come on, keep going. All right. Let's get to a rebound here so we can talk about that. Should be a shot going up here shortly. Team control while the ball is being passed between teammates. Again, if there's a foul off ball, a screen, or whatever, there's still team control. That would be a team control foul. Okay. Another made basket. All right, now we have, okay, so ball is being batted for a rebound. Okay, it was batted once, and then it was controlled. So if a foul occurred, hang on, let's go back just a sec. If a foul occurred before, on the bat, basically, okay, does the team have control on a bat, on a rebound? No. Okay, so if you have a foul, we're going to get into what that means. Just log those in your memory banks, okay? All right, I think that's pretty much it on that. Like I said, this is just kind of a good practice to get into. It's batted, it's batted. If there's any fouling going on right here, it's batted 3 times there. There's no team control. All right?
Nor player control.
Nor player control. Exactly. All right, here's some plays specifically for team control, like actual plays here. All right, so we had a foul. Let's go back. Referee calls a foul. Oh, sorry, I went too far back. Let's let it just play on, okay? All right, so team B, black in black. Ball is deflected by white. See that? Everybody see that? Ball's deflected. When black goes to get the ball, the defender also goes to try to get it, right? White defender also tries to get it. And the official calls a foul. Now, where do you think the foul was? Anybody see a foul?
Not yet.
I haven't seen a foul, but he called a foul. And he called it on black. Yeah, okay, so now we're not a foul. Okay, not a foul. Not saying you should call a foul here. But the point is this is a team control situation because the ball was in the air on a pass. Okay? All right? You have a team control foul. In this situation, you're going to put the ball out of bounds for white. Unless, okay, yep. All right, so let's see. Do they show it again? Yep. All right, so pass is made to the wing, deflected by the defender. Important to recognize this is still team control situation. And he's basically saying that black used his backside and created a foul, which, again, I don't agree with that. There has to be a little more displacement on a play like that for me to have a whistle, but the call was made.
Is a deflected pass the same as an interrupted dribble?
No, it's not.
Is there team control in a deflected
There is.
pass?
Yes, there is. There is team control on a deflected pass.
So
Yes.
there's team control in an interrupted dribble.
Yes.
Team control in a deflected pass.
Yes.
So you still got team control.
Team control. Very good. Okay. All right. So anyway, now with team control, the next question to ask is if white is in the bonus, which if you look up on the board, they are. You see the fouls on the board, 6 and 8. So this is a few years old. This was before they changed the quarters, 5 fouls in a quarter. Okay. The point is this is 6 and 8. So, and the old rule was 7 to the 1 and 1. So regardless, each team's in the bonus, but it's a team control foul. So if a team's in the bonus, do you shoot free throws on a team control foul?
No.
No. Okay. Good. Just making sure we're all on the same page.
Team control, player control, that's the thing.
Correct. As far as that's concerned.
Hey Tim, did they change the mechanic on team control? It used to
Fist
be-
out. No resulting free throws because it was a team control
Yeah,
foul.
but still
Yep.
the fist out.
Fist out for team control. Yeah. Yeah. And again, just communicate clearly. It doesn't,
Team controls this.
team control is behind the head too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It changed go.
Okay. It changed back to behind the head.
Oh, it did?
Yeah. Okay. The point is just communicate it clearly. If it's an illegal screen, which we haven't seen that yet, but if it's an illegal screen, I'm blowing my whistle and I'm pointing the other direction and I'm saying illegal screen out loud. Okay? That's how I'm doing that. I'm not putting my hand behind my head for an illegal screen. All right? I barely can put my hand behind my head for a player control foul. I do sometimes. I've tried to do better with that, but the point is just communicate it. If it's a team control foul, illegal screen, going the other way, okay? All right? Communicate it correctly. The mechanic, the signals are important, but not the most important thing. Like you can have some variance in your signals. That's the idea. Play 2. Black is in team control. Woo! We got a ball deflected by the defensive player, which is still in team control by black, correct? Okay? And then black smacks the defender across the face as she comes back down to the floor. Did everybody see that? and kind of yanks her down. Did everybody see that? Okay, so it's a foul on black. Team control again. No free throws. Just going to go out of bounds with it. Now this guy, that guy's saying we're going to put it on the sideline, but that's wrong too, because you're going to put it out on the end line because it happened down under the free throw line. Okay, all right. Point is that's a team control foul, no shots. Now that's a tough one because your coach is going to be like, well, why aren't we getting free throws if it's bonus? Okay, why aren't we getting free throws? Because black team was still in team control, and we do not shoot free throws on team control fouls.
That's when they should know the rules.
Yeah, but they don't. That's why we need to know the rules.
That would be like Kevin Brown, Rule 1, Section 2.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. This is the end. All right, so that's it for that. So again, that's kind of just a general good practice for getting the idea of when there's team control. Here's a couple more plays on team controls, and then we'll go into hang on, sorry. I got to go back here. Let's do it again. All right. Did everybody see that? All right, let's watch it again. Pass, crash. Okay? So it's not a player control foul because the player did not have control of the ball. The player passed the ball and then crashed into a legal defender. This is a team control foul. Again, if we're in the bonus, which if you see down here, 4 and 5 fouls, based on our new rules, we would be in the bonus, but we're not going to shoot free throws because it's a team control foul. It's going to be white throwing on the end line. Okay? And
It's not player control,
it's not player control. It's
awarded the same way.
yes. I don't think they called anything. Boom. Yeah, look. This and that and see how the video highlights where the officials are? Okay? So this guy's, he's in center. He should be down here. Trail is not even to half court yet. Okay? And lead is right on top of the play. Really, to be honest, lead should have that whistle. Yeah, you see the arrow pointing down to lead. Lead should have a whistle on that play because the other two are not in position to call it. But I guarantee you lead's head went with the pass instead of staying with the defender. And that's a mechanics thing. When you officiate, you got to train yourself to officiate your primary. So when the ball leaves your primary, don't follow the ball with your eyes. Stay with your primary. And that's a perfect example of why. Because you're going to have something like that happen and you're going to miss it. Look at him. He's looking way out there. All right. Next play. This is the same play, I think. I'm just going to get out. Is it playing again? Nope, this is a different play. Okay. All right, did you see that one? So lob pass by 31. And this guy here, I can't see his number at the moment, but he grabs the defender. Offensive player grabs the defender. Now, look, they're shooting free throws. And the point of this is you shouldn't be because it's a team control. So offensive player clearly grabs, locks up 25's arm, right? Everybody sees that? On a lob pass that's intended for him. It's intended for the goal player, the offensive player. But the defensive player has good position, and the offensive player locks him because he knows he's not going to get it. Okay? So that's a player control foul because it's a pass to that offensive player. Player control foul. And they go and shoot free throws. Oops. I didn't want to do that. I want to go to the next one. Let's just let it play. Okay? And you got good officials on this game, too. That looks like Roger Ayers. Roger Ayers should never make a mistake like that. Anybody know who Roger Ayers is?
Yep. He got a Final Four, but not a championship.
Roger Ayers is one of the best officials in the country, this guy right here. And he made a mistake. We put him on the line. The call was correct, but he put him on the line to shoot free throws. And he shouldn't have. I hope Roger's watching this video. Yeah, right. That'd be funny.
And watch the player that caused the foul went back. His hands goes back like I didn't touch him. Watch
Yeah,
him.
right?
Watch
Yeah.
him. Watch him.
Oh, yeah. That wasn't on me. Oops. Okay. All right. Okay, good. So, all right. So that's that one. Next one here. This would be an error. We're going to talk about correctable errors here for a couple minutes too. But this is another team control situation. So you can clearly see the hold on the throw-in by the offensive player. This guy right here. Okay? I'll go back enough for you to see it. Throw in. He holds the defender because he knows he's not going to get it, right? Player control or team control foul. They get the foul right, but then they put him on the line to shoot. Again, team control foul, no free throws.
So that's college. So is that the same rule?
Same rule. Yep. It doesn't matter that it's a college game. It is the same rule, but it's definitely our rule in high school.
Oh, I know
So
that.
we can apply it, based on that. All right. Okay. All right. Here's another team control from trail. Foul called from trail. So what happens over here, over there? Right. Oh. Let's go back a little bit here. Yeah, that was marginal at best. But the trail calls a foul. Team control foul for basically the guy running through the kind of running through and pushing off. So, all right. Why do I have this one on the video? Let's see. Sorry, I thought I had these in the order I wanted to watch them. I have, okay. Oh yeah, these are illegal screens, team control fouls. Okay, all right, good. So we're going to continue here, just continue watching these. These are different types of team control fouls. Illegal screens, we haven't watched those yet. Boom, you see that? Knocks the guy down right there. Oh, yeah, just knocks him off his path, the defender off his path. That's clear. Illegal screen, team control foul, no free throws. Another one there, the guy, okay, you see that one? Right? Pretty obvious. Just runs his defender away from him so he can, have the ball. Foul, illegal screen. Oh, did you see that one? That was a good call by the official there. That one's a little harder to see, but see that leg? He's got the ball. He lifts the leg up and puts the defender to the floor. Illegal. Team control and that's
Tripping.
team player because he has control of the ball. That's another screen that was called illegal. That one's a little less so, but
Obvious.
yeah, that's not quite as obvious. All right, these are offensive fouls. Let me see. Yeah, that was an illegal screen. Oh, but that actually wasn't. So let's watch that one again because they're getting here. Let's see if we can catch this. All right. So the commentator on this one is saying that this defender bumped the offensive screener forward and therefore it should not be a foul on an illegal screen, but it should be a defensive foul on this guy. Okay? And that's what he calls, I believe. Yep.
Whistles.
It was enough.
Wasn't much.
Let's see what this one is. I think this is just another illegal screen. Oh no, is this another interesting one that I was scratching my head on? I can't remember. Okay, so we're looking at 45. Oh no, that was pretty obvious. And that official comes out strong, makes a great call. That's called projecting strength there and confidence. 45 kind of moves, continues to move as the dribbler goes by. All right, that's a good one. Next one. This is the one I'm scratching my head on, I think. Come on. No, that one was obvious too. Number 2, or 12, sorry, he's got his leg out, trips the defender going by, illegal screen there, okay. Oh, and now we're at a live ball, dead ball. Okay, all right,
I
so
wish you had the illegal screen
in the semifinal,
between Iowa and UConn. I mean,
was it a semifinal or final?
semifinals.
Yeah.
And the girl just, I mean, I've got it on my phone. I wish I could send it to you. But it was so obvious. Yeah. But, and that referee had, well, I can't say it, but that referee made a big call right in front of UConn's bench and went the other way. Great call.
But it was a correct call. Yeah, it was.
It was a correct call, no doubt. I've got it on my phone.
I disagree.
Somebody must be in UConn.
Oh, no. I don't like women. I shouldn't say this on the video, but I don't like women's basketball at all.
Well, yeah.
I don't like women's basketball.
Well,
So, but I was watching that game only because we were at a tournament and there was a bunch of referees and it was the only thing on television. The point is we saw that. I saw it live. And then I watched the replay several times. We're talking about the semifinal game in the NCAA women's tournament last year. This is for the video. Okay, 2 years ago, UConn and Iowa. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I got you. Yeah. I know. This is for the video. Okay. So, and in my mind, it should not have been called. I'm not saying it was an illegal screen. You should not have called it at that point in the game. That's a philosophy. Boom. That's it. And I'm stopping right there. Okay. Because that's not what we're talking about today. Well, I'll definitely take that outside with you. Okay. All right. We got to move on though, because we're running short on time, and you've already missed your tea time.
I've got to back up.
Okay, live ball, dead ball. We got to keep moving. That took us way too long, actually. So let's go to live ball, dead ball. Rule 6 in your rule book. Okay, and we're not going to spend a lot of time on this. I was going to spend a little more time, but I'm not going to now because we don't really need to. But we do need to define when the ball is live and when the ball is dead. Okay, so. When is the ball live? All right, Section 1, Rule 6. Section 1, the game and each extra period shall be started by a jump ball in the center restraining circle. After any subsequent dead ball, the only way to get the ball live is to resume play by a jump ball in the circle, by a throw-in, or by a free throw. The dribble and traveling rules are not in effect in these situations. The ball becomes live, Article 2, when on a jump ball, the toss ball leaves the official's hands. So, as soon as the ball leaves the official's hand, the ball is live. Clock has not started yet, though, has it? No. Okay, very good. All right, so we have a live ball on the tossing when the ball leaves the official's hand for the jump ball, but the clock has not started. That's one instance. Okay, on a throw-in, does the clock run on a throw-in? Yes. If it's after a made basket, it will. Yes. It will, but if it's on a designated spot throw-in, it will not. Okay, so there are times when it's both, but that is another example of the clock stopped, ball is live. When the ball is at the disposal of the thrower in. Okay, so if the official has handed me the ball, I have it in my hands, it's a live ball. Okay, if the official puts the ball down to the floor, okay, blows, like let's say we're coming out of a timeout. Blows the whistle because they've taken too long on the timeout. They put the ball down on the floor. When is the ball at the disposal of the thrower in that scenario?
When he puts it on the floor and starts.
Is it at the player's disposal or is it just a count? When does the ball actually become at the disposal of a player on a throw-in?
When you start your count.
I don't think so. Not when you start your count. When he's in a close enough position to reasonably pick up the ball, right?
Right.
Okay. So have you ever seen? Let me give you a different scenario to help see the point here. Have you ever seen a player step out, like in bounds, the thrower in, okay, and you're the official ready to give that player the ball, and that player steps in bounds and tells, okay, you go here, and you go here, and you go here, and you go here, or even after a made basket, okay, the ball is bouncing or setting right next to that player after a made basket, and they're trying to set up a play or whatever it is. We've seen that before. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen, right? That ball is right there next to that player. That ball is at his disposal, okay? Even though he doesn't have it in his hands. That's the idea. Yeah. Same thing with the free throw, which is the next point. On a free throw, it is at the disposal of the free thrower. So it becomes at the disposal of a free thrower as soon as it releases the official's hands bouncing toward the free throw shooter. You bounce from the time it leaves my hands until it gets to the player, it is at their disposal. And then when they have it, obviously it is. All that time, the ball is live. So if a foul occurs during that live ball period, it's handled differently than when it's a dead ball. Okay, and that's one of the keys here. Okay,
Tim,
yes, sir.
Can you just tell people how you would handle it? You put it at the disposal of the free thrower. They're dribbling, it hits their foot and goes away. What do you do?
I'm going to blow my whistle and get it back and do it again.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. All right. So the ball becomes live in three ways: on a jump ball when it leaves the official's hands, on a throw-in at the disposal, on a free throw at the disposal. The ball becomes dead. We're going to go to the next section, which is dead ball, which is on page 53, section 7. Same rule, rule 6, section 7. The ball becomes dead when a goal is made. So when the ball goes through the basket, it becomes dead. When does it become live again? When it's at the disposal of the player, of the thrower in. Okay? All right. Article 2, it is apparent the free throw will not be successful on a free throw which is followed by another free throw, or a free throw which is followed by a throw-in. All right? So the ball will remain dead if it's, or once a free throw is unsuccessful and there's another free throw or a throw-in to follow, it's dead. Okay? All right? If it's the last free throw, then it becomes live. It's live when it's at the disposal, and it's live through the free throw process. All right? And then as they start rebounding, the ball's live. Ball becomes dead, Article 3, on a held ball, when a held ball occurs, or when the ball lodges between the backboard and ring, which is a held ball situation as well. We go to the AP arrow. Article 4, the ball becomes dead when a player control or a team control foul occurs. Article 5, the ball becomes dead when an official's whistle is blown, except in A and B below, which we'll get to in just a minute. So most of the time, when an official's whistle is blown, the ball becomes dead. Article 6, the ball becomes dead when time expires for a quarter or extra period. Article 7, a foul other than a player control or team control occurs, with exceptions to A, B, and C below, again, which we'll get to. Article 8, a free throw violation by the throwing team. So the ball is live when the free thrower has the ball, okay, to shoot the free throw. If someone on their own team steps into the lane, it's an immediate whistle, dead ball, okay? If someone from the opposing team steps in, it's not an immediate whistle. It's still a live ball in that situation. We have a delayed. We don't have a whistle. We have a signal for a delay. We see a violation. This is not delay, but you get the idea. This is your signal for when you see a violation by the defensive player on a free throw. Okay, but you have no whistle. You wait to see if the ball was made or missed. If it's missed, you give another free throw. If it's made, you drop your arm.
And then the shooting team steps in after the other team steps in. What do you have?
What do you have if the shooting team steps in after the defensive team steps in.
Get a defensive violation.
First and only?
It depends on if the defensive team calls the offense.
Or do you have a double violation? Yeah, it does.
Defense can
It
call
depends
it.
on if the defensive player causes the offensive violation.
And it doesn't, it just, defensive steps in, then offensive steps in, what do you have?
Double violation.
And then what you do?
You go to the AP. If it's the last free throw. If it's not,
You just,
you shoot another one. The first one, that one's done. You're not shooting that one again,
Right.
but you're gonna shoot the next one or yeah.
or the third one.
Okay. All right. Or Article 9, a violation occurs, with exception D below. All right. So we got a lot of exceptions on dead balls. So let's start with the exceptions for when an official's whistle is blown. A and B. All right. Down below, Article 5, 6, and 7, exception. The ball does not become dead until the try or tap for field goal ends or until the airborne shooter returns to the floor. When in Articles 5, 6, or 7 occurs while a try or tap for field goal is in flight. Okay? So in other words, the whistle blows for a foul, the ball's in flight, you still have, potentially you have an airborne shooter, ball's in flight, the ball would not become dead until the ball is finished with what it's doing. So if it goes in, ball's dead. If it misses, the ball's dead. Okay, once that's completed, then your ball would be dead. But it's live throughout that. It's live after the whistle for, a split second at least. Okay, or on a free throw, which is Article B, occurs while a try for a free throw is in flight. All right, and then we have exception A for Article 6, time expires for a quarter or extra period. That again is on a try or tap for field goal with time expiring. The horn does not make the ball dead. It's not dead until after the shot is completed. Okay? A foul, Article 7, a foul other than player control or team control occurs. Exceptions A, B, and C. Again, it's all the same stuff. It's on a try or tap for field goal. All right. And then exception D is for a violation, which is the free throw, which we talked about. Okay. We already talked about a defensive free throw violation is delayed, and that's when, there's not an immediate whistle. So the ball is still live until the free throw finishes. Okay, good. Any questions on that? Live ball, dead ball. Okay, now, someone give me an example of what the difference would be between a live ball foul and a dead ball foul. So why is it so important to know when the ball is live and when the ball is dead? Anybody have an answer to that? Why is that important? Shane, any thoughts on that?
So, for example, on a throw-in, that's live and team control.
Right? So we're going back to Rule 4 definitions 12, Section 12, which is what I said at the very beginning. I read at the very beginning, right? You have player and team control. And the very first article says a player is in control of the ball when the player is holding or dribbling a live ball. Okay? A player is not in control of a ball when they're holding a dead ball. Like by rule, there's no player control when the ball is dead. But there is player control when the ball is live and they're holding or dribbling a live ball. So there you go. Okay, that's one. All right. And then it's talked about the dead ball too. Where did it mention the dead ball? That was on the next page, I believe. Where was it? Okay, here we go. Yeah, the Article 6 again, Rule 4, Section 12, Article 6. Neither team control nor player control exists during a dead ball, during a jump ball, or when the ball is in flight during a try or tap for field goal. So the second two were extra there. The main one there was there's neither team or player control during a dead ball. Okay? So I'm trying to think, though, if this is something that I'm just asking the group here. If we have a foul during a live ball, which is, let's say it's a something other than a common foul. Let's say we have a intentional foul or a flagrant foul when the ball is live, or we have one of those when the ball is dead. Is there a difference in our administration?
Can you say that one more time?
So if we have a intentional or flagrant foul or technical, we'll go technical, intentional, or flagrant. Anything other than a common foul, more or less, okay? During a live ball, is it administered any differently than a technical, intentional, or flagrant during a dead ball?
Point of interruption.
Point of interruption is definitely something to consider in all that, right? If there's, I mean,
Anything other than technical. Technical is at half court.
so a technical foul, yes, your administration is division line, 2 free throws division line. Okay? All right. My point is not only administration but penalty. Is there any difference?
I mean, is there,
On a dead ball, yes.
yeah, I mean,
Dead
not-
ball's almost
not
automatically
intentional.
technical.
If it's a foul on a dead ball, it's
Technical most of the time. Yeah.
So there is a difference. Sometimes it's hard to distinguish, but yes. So can you have a technical on a live ball? Can you have a technical foul on a live ball? Yes. Can you have an intentional foul on a live ball? Yes. Can you have a flagrant foul on a live ball? Yes. Can you have those 3 things on a dead ball? Can you have all 3 of those things on a dead ball? Can you have an intentional foul on a dead ball?
Typically on a dead ball.
No, because it's gonna be considered technical or flagrant.
You can't have an intentional foul on a dead ball because it's then going to be a technical foul and could be considered a flagrant. If it's a fighting act,
Right.
it would be considered flagrant. So example is let's say you have a live ball, play to the basket, defender shoves a kid 2 hands in the back. What do you have? We'll go with an intentional. Okay, you have an intentional foul at minimum. Okay. So that's a live ball, intentional foul during a live ball, right? Okay. Now, the result of that 2-hand shove in the back causes one of that kid's teammate, or that kid that got shoved, to get up and take a swing at the guy that 2-hand shoved him in the back. It's a flagrant technical, right? By rule, it's a flagrant technical foul. Okay?
And it's a dead ball.
And that would be a dead ball because the play is over, right? It would be a dead ball, flagrant technical foul.
But the intentional would do on a live ball.
Correct. So now, how do we administer all that?
Well, the basket goes in, do you count in?
Well, hang on. So let's say the ball's missed on the original attempt. 2-hand shove in the back, we have an intentional foul. And then we have a player get up and punch.
You're going to award the free throws for the intentional first.
So we have, all right, so again, I'm just saying this for the video so the video can hear, but so the first thing we do is we get the intentional foul, right? Okay. And we give 2 free throws to the offended team, which we'll say is white. Okay. All right. So white's the offended team. They get 2 free throws for an intentional foul. And it's shot by the player it's supposed to be shot by the player that was fouled.
Right.
Okay. However, that player gets up and punches.
So his replacement, you got to shoot it.
He retaliates.
He retaliates with a punch, with a fight, with a punch. Okay.
Right. Can't
All right.
pick anybody. Whoever his replacement
So-
is has to shoot it.
So that person is disqualified. His replacement would come in and shoot the 2 intentional foul shots. Yep. Then we would go and everybody's off the line for those. Then we would go and
The opposite side is shoot the other two
shoot the
shots.
flagrant technical foul shots. Nobody on the line.
Anybody you want, anybody.
Anybody can shoot those from the black team. Okay.
Ball awarded out
Then
of the
you gotta
division
come
line.
back, you got 2 flagrant, you got an intentional and 2 flagrant.
No, you only have 1 flagrant.
No, I thought you said. the
No,
guy
no, no,
got
no.
up, hit him, and then the guy
No.
that was pushed.
Nope.
He hit him back.
Nope. That was the end. It was just one. No.
He done had two.
Well, let's use that scenario.
Well, I will, but no, I never said that. The guy that gets punched is knocked out. He can't do anything. So that's the end of the scenario. Okay, that was my original scenario.
So yeah.
So it's a shove in the back on an intentional foul. That kid that gets shoved comes up and cold cocks him and knocks him out. That's the scenario. So you have intentional, then you have flagrant. You have 2 free throws for the intentional by the replaced player.
Right.
Okay, 2 free throws for the flagrant by anybody on the other team.
Then
Okay,
ball awarded at the division line.
is the ball awarded at the division line?
Because it's a technical.
Because it's a-
flagrant technical, it has to be
Correct.
division line, not point of event.
Correct. Because a normal intentional foul would go back to the spot of the foul.
Right.
Not point of interruption, but spot of the foul. Okay.
Tim, I'm not trying to complicate things, but let's take that one step further. The guy slugs a guy, flagrant foul, then that guy who was pushed intentionally slugs him back, flagrant. So you got intentional and 2 flagrant fouls. What do you do?
The 2 flagrant fouls offset.
Offset.
The flagrant foul's offset. The intentional is the only one that you're going to shoot. However, the player that was intentionally fouled is disqualified.
Right.
So his replacement will shoot the free throws, and that's it. And then so you give the white team, because white's the one that got intentionally fouled. You give the white team 2 free throws, and they get the ball out of bounds at the spot of the foul.
You hope it never happens.
Yes,
But
exactly.
it can happen.
It easily can.
Yeah.
Oh, you can. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we are at 3:30. I have backcourt, frontcourt plays. If you want to stay and watch, I'll take a vote. Who wants to stay for another 10, 15 minutes? Or who wants to go? I won't hold it against you.
I love next week.
Okay, you can go to your tea time.
So everybody's saying they want to.
Yeah, and you don't have to. You can go if you need to go, but we're going to try to take just a few more minutes and look at some.
Let's go 20, 30 more minutes.
Let's look at backcourt, frontcourt plays.
By the way, I got that video that me and Tim disagreed on. I want to show y'all and get y'all.
Oh, you know what? I'm not getting into backcourt today because the other thing that I wanted to talk about, which we need to talk about for another 5 or 10 minutes, is correctable errors. As it relates, and this is another way that it relates to live ball, dead ball. Okay, and I completely forgot about this, so I apologize. This was part of the live ball, dead ball conversation. So we're not going to get into front court, back court today. We're going to get into correctable errors briefly. Okay, briefly. All right. So correctable errors is what? Rule 2? 210. Go to there in your book. Rule 2. Now, these are something, as Wayne said just a minute ago, that you hope never happens in your game. However, it's in the rule book, and it happens. So it's important that we know what a correctable error is and how to fix it. Or, when we can fix it and how to fix it. So Section 10, Rule 2, Section 10 is correctable errors. Now, this little chart, and it's up here. It's going to be up here on the board too, right here. This is really good chart. It's in your book as well. Okay. So let's get to the bigger version of it. Okay. All right. Right there. So in your book, we have this little handy dandy chart on when an error is recognized, when it occurs, when it's recognized, and when we can fix it and when we can't. All right? So we're going to go through this real quick. So here it says right here, I'm going to stay here. Okay. So you have dead ball, okay? Errors made on a dead ball. Now, we're going to talk about we won't go into great detail, but we will read what is actually able to be corrected in a minute, okay? But this is our correct. Actually, we should read that first. I'm sorry. Let's read the errors first. And then we'll talk about when you can correct them, when you can't. Okay, so there's 5 things that you can correct if an error is made. Letter A is a failure to award a merited free throw. Letter B is awarding an unmerited free throw. Letter C, permitting a wrong player to attempt a free throw. Letter D, attempting a free throw at the wrong basket. And letter E is erroneously counting or canceling a score. Now, 4 of the 5, the first 4 are all free throw related. The only one that's not is the last one, which is counting or canceling a score. Okay? So keep that in mind. There are 4 scenarios under free throw administration where we can correct an error. Wrong. You have awarding a free throw when it shouldn't have been, awarding a free throw, not awarding a free throw when it should have been, awarding a free throw to a wrong player or at the wrong basket. Those are your 4. Okay. Now, let's say the error is made on a dead ball. So we have any of these 5, and it's a dead ball, and the error is recognized or made. I'm sorry, the error is made on a dead ball. Okay. So now we have ball, and this is why dead ball, live ball is important for us to know. Okay. So based on our conversation about live ball, dead ball, we know that when a ball goes through the basket, it becomes dead. When it's at the disposal of the thrower in, it now becomes live again. Okay, so we have a dead ball. I give the ball to the thrower in just for a normal throw in. Okay, all right, that's the first live ball when that happens. Clock starts or keeps running depending on the scenario. If it's okay, but in this scenario, the clock would start. All right, and then let's say we have a made basket. We have a made basket. Ball becomes dead. That's your first dead ball. And then as soon as that player touches the ball, that's your second live ball. If the error is not recognized before that period of time, you cannot correct it. So once that second live ball has occurred, the horn sounds. Hey, we only had 4 team fouls instead of 5. So, team A was not entitled to those 2 free throws that they shot. Well, we have a second live ball, and this is, something that you're gonna probably have to get together with your partners and kind of go through the process together, talk about your live ball, your dead ball, your live ball, and see if you can actually go back and fix it. Okay, and it shouldn't take a long time, but it's going to take a second to process that. And then once you do, you determine, okay, so in that scenario, second live ball, we can't correct it. So those points stay on the board. It's just, you just make a note in the book, no correctable error, everything stays the same, we continue on. Okay? Now, if that error is, go ahead, I'm sorry. Oh.
So naturally you're thinking whistle is your live ball, dead ball, and it's not. It's not your second whistle.
Correct. All right, so let's say the error is recognized at the first dead ball. Obviously, as you go through the process of live ball, dead ball, okay, we haven't had a second live ball. So the horn, let's say to stick with that scenario, the ball is shot during the first live ball. It goes through the basket and the horn immediately sounds.
You got a dead ball.
You have a dead, that's your first dead ball. You can fix it, okay? All right, so you correct, if the clock, at the bottom there it says, if clock WS was stopped, correct before first dead ball becomes live after clock has started. If clock kept running, correct before second live ball. So if it's running, that means it's after a made basket, right? Okay. Play sequence is the same whether clock is running or stopped. All right, so now we're going to go through a couple plays here, which is good. Yeah, okay. So we have missed free throw, correctable error here. And by the way, all these guys miss these plays because they're wearing masks. I'm just saying, okay? Like these are all plays with guys in masks. This was done obviously during COVID, and so they didn't have enough brain. They didn't have enough oxygen getting to their brain, so that's why they missed all these plays. I'm just saying that's a little bonus there. Sorry, that was meant to be funny. So, all right, all right. So now we have a foul called after a free throw. So let's go through the process here. We have a live ball on the free throw, right? Dead ball on the foul call. White should shoot 2 free throws. So they're basically saying that White's in the bonus because of the foul, but they're not shooting. So now we have live, dead, not live. Live and dead. We're at live and dead, and now the error is recognized. Is it correctable?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Okay, very good, because we're at the end of a quarter. All right, so this one can be corrected. So end of second quarter. Basically, this is saying that they're told about it, before they go into the locker room, and so it can be corrected. Now, the next question is it corrected? Is it corrected right away, like right there before everyone goes in the locker room, or do you go into the locker room and get the player back out to shoot and put time back on, or do you correct it to start the third quarter?
Well, you hadn't had a live ball yet.
You have to correct it there. So, which means you can see how much time's on the clock, 3.2. Okay? So this is what you have to do, is you have to go back to 3.2 on the clock. All right? You put 3.2 on the clock, and White shoots free throws on the opposite end, and you play the last 3.2 after from the two free throws. Does everybody follow that? Shane, you got a confused look on your face. Do you disagree with that?
About the time part.
So what do you think? He just shoots the free throws and that's the end of the quarter?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm looking at Article 5 maybe to
Well, read it for us. That's good.
correct. Points scored, consumed time, and additional activity which may occur prior to the recognition of the error shall not be nullified.
Okay.
Errors because of free throw attempts by the wrong player or at the wrong basket shall be corrected by applying rules 8.1 and 2.
Okay, good. So I stand corrected. So you don't put time on the clock. You just have the white team shoot the player that was fouled shoot two free throws.
And then the quarter's over.
And the quarter's over. Very good. Thank you, Shane. Okay. So I was mistaken on that.
There is situations where you would.
Yes, agreed.
Thing you gotta
Agreed.
be sure of.
I would think that, well, yeah. Okay. So that's play one. Let's go to the next play. Well, see here it says, hold on, because errors correctable. Oh yeah, they start the third quarter. Okay, so they're saying they start the third quarter with the two free throws, and you just play from. Well, you clear the lane and then you give it to. Well, it would be division line throw in for the team that has possession, alternating possession, right? Well, they give it to White. Resume play at point of interruption. So my question there is does White automatically get it, or does it go to the AP? Anybody know the answer to that? That's a good question. I don't have the answer to that either. Someone look it up. We'll get an answer later. We're going to keep going. Next play. Wrong player shooting a free throw. All right, we got a foul. Kid on the ground is the one that's going to be shooting. Number 25 was fouled. But who goes to the line? Not number 25, number 11.
Their best free throw shooter.
Yeah. Now, let me just say this. If you believe this is an intentional act, this is more than just correctable. This is also unsporting technical foul. Okay? Now, let's just go back just for sake of.
But he was right there.
Yeah.
He helped him off the floor.
Just for sake of, let's see. Okay, I mean, I could see how 11 might think he got fouled because he was kind of in the scrum there too. Okay, so we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt most likely. But if you judge it to be intentional, then it's more than just correctable. But we're going to assume that it's just an honest mistake. So he shoots the free throws. Now we're going to follow the progression here as he shoots. Okay.
Of course he makes them.
Yep. Okay, so the table realizes the arrow and sounds the horn before he's done shooting his free throws. Isn't that what it just said?
what it said.
As soon as he shoots, it's an error, basically. Live ball. There's one live ball. Yep. Error made.
Okay, so you've had your second live ball once you shoot your second free throw.
Yeah, watch. So now the ball's dead. Your first dead ball. Now the ball becomes live again. Table realizes error and sounds horn. On second free throw, error is correctable.
No time's gone off the clock,
That doesn't matter.
does it?
Doesn't say.
So that's almost confusing because they're saying it's. I agree that it's correctable because I don't think that it's. You're not taking live ball, dead ball until he's finished with his free throws.
So the last free throw is when it
Yeah,
becomes live.
and then you continue play.
That's right. The first free throw, it stays dead.
Yeah. Tuesday is supposed.
Well, by rule, it's still live.
2-shot foul.
Yeah. Right? Is it live
No,
on the
because
first free
you
throw?
can't rebound it on the first free throw, so it can't be live.
I would say that.
I would say it's dead.
Look back to the line.
Yeah, and I think I read that actually. So this is why it's important to really dig into the rule book because there's a lot here.
It says on the throw, let's see, on a free throw, it has disposal of the free throw.
But it also says
Note and a note.
the ball becomes dead or remains dead when a free throw this is Article 2, a free throw which is to be followed by another free throw.
Okay. Yeah, so it stays
It is apparent the free throw will not be successful on a free throw which is to be followed by another free throw. Or a free throw which is to be followed by a throw-in. So it would be similar, okay? So that's why we're still in our first live ball. Well, we're still in our first live ball.
right.
And that's why it can be corrected. Okay, good. So that's huge. That's important to. So all you do is resume by putting the correct player on the line, and you go from there. And you would take away the points, right? You would take away the one free throw that he made. You would take that away.
Right. And you reshoot both.
Reshoot both free throws. Okay. All right.